One of the biggest challenges that I face as a father in today's digital world is how to keep track of all the different devices that I have within my home. Whether it be a smart TV, a phone, or a tablet, I want to make sure that I have control of these devices. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do that with the Circle Home Plus. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Tech with Brett, where I help tech work for you. Today's video is sponsored by Circle so that I can show you all the different features that are available. First, let me introduce you to the Circle Home Plus by getting it set up. So inside the box, you do have a USB-C power cable as well as a Ethernet cable, and this will plug directly into your router. If you do have a Wi-Fi system like the Google Home Wi-Fi, you will need to plug it into the main base station of the Wi-Fi. Now once you have it plugged in, you'll just need to head into the Circle application and go through the setup process and scan the QR code on the bottom of the device. Now that you have the device set up, the Circle Home Plus will keep track of every device that is currently on your Wi-Fi network. You'll actually be notified every single time a new device is added to network so that you can then go choose to manage that device or keep it unmanaged. Once the Circle Home Plus is set up, you will then go through and create different profiles and manage certain devices through your mobile device through the Circle application. So here I'm actually going to create a profile for the kids. My kids don't have specific devices, like they don't each have a tablet or a smartphone or anything like that, but they do all use these smart TVs. So next we have the filter. So you can set different filter levels. Here you can do kid, teen, adult, or no filter. With the kid, it allows for certain applications like the Disney app or Hulu app or Netflix, but you can choose to go in here and turn off certain applications if you don't want them to use those, or you can actually make it so a certain app is unmanaged, so there will be no filtration for that device. And then if you go down a little further, you can go in and choose the different categories that are available. So if you don't want them to access any different social networks, you can go in here and turn that off. So then for the kids at the very bottom here, I'm going to choose Safe Search and make sure that the YouTube restricted mode is on. So then if they're searching through YouTube on the TV, it's going to protect their account so that it doesn't show any of the restricted YouTube content. Now that we have all our filters selected and what devices we want managed or unmanaged, we can go in here and set time limits or bedtime and off time to manage exactly when the devices have access to the internet. So first we're going to go into the bedtime. So here from Sunday to Thursday, we have bedtime from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. So that means the internet on those devices cannot be used within that time. Now you do have the option to set a bedtime for the weekend. So maybe you like to have late nights like we do. At 11 o'clock, the internet will turn off instead of earlier so that we could continue to watch a movie a little bit later. Now next you have time limits. So one of the first things that I learned is how much we actually use the internet with this. So you can go in here and you can choose a time limit for all of the devices. So at 6 hours, all of those devices would turn off. Or you can go in and set devices for specific apps. Like here we have maybe Netflix can only be accessed for 2 hours and then it will turn off. Now this is really great because it tells us exactly how much internet they're using, and we can talk about maybe some better uses and how we can actually have the internet be used within the home. And then next you have off time. Maybe there are certain times of the day, like in the morning you want them to be able to do chores, and in the afternoon you want them to be able to do homework without the distraction of the TV. You can go in here and set off times. So here we have this right now set from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So during dinner time, the TV is off and we can have dinner together and play together. Now if you create a time off for one profile, you can actually copy that to another profile, or you could add many different off times as well. So we're going to select save there. And then last here we have history. So history allows you to see what websites or what applications have been accessed through the different devices. So here with my Fire TVs, you can see a lot of different Amazon devices have been accessed. But if I go over here to the filter, you can see that it's trying to access Facebook. So it did access that. I could tap on it, and maybe I don't want it to access Facebook. I could set as not allowed, or maybe that's fine and I always want them to have access. Maybe it's like a certain school website that they need to go to. You can come in here and set as unmanaged, or you can actually view the website to learn a bit more about what that website actually is. So then once you have gone through all those settings, two more things you can do on the premium subscription. One is be able to pause the internet. So if at any time the kids aren't listening to me, I can come in here and select pause, and it will then pause the internet for all of the devices in their profile. Now, it will take a minute for it to actually turn off because there is a buffer set up on the different streaming devices, so that it takes a minute for that buffer to end before the internet actually pauses. Let me show you an example of what happens when the internet pauses on certain devices. So here on my Amazon Fire TV Cube, it just keeps spinning. You'll see a little orange light at the top indicating it doesn't have connection to the internet. And then here is the reaction. What are you trying to do?
Trying to watch TV.
Well, what's happened?
I ate too many treats at school.
No. What's happened to the TV? Why isn't it working?
So, this is Titana and Dada do.
It knows it's bedtime.
Hello.
It knows it's bedtime, huh?
Dada.
You can also go to the main page and pause the internet for every device that is on your Wi-Fi network at once. So next we have the reward category. So maybe your kids were extra good, or they did great on a homework assignment, or they listened to you. You can come in here and set rewards, and you can add a reward for 3 different categories. So maybe they reach their 4 hours of limit for the day. I can come in here and extend the time limit from whatever it's set at, 30 more minutes or an hour longer, right here, and then you can choose that based on whatever time limits you already have set up. Next, we have late bedtime. So maybe there's a day where, like a Sunday night, you don't have school the next day and you want to add some extra time. You can come in here and choose what time the new bedtime will be for that day. And the next day, it will act just like normal. And then the last here is we can disable off time for today. So we can go in and turn off that time. Maybe the kid is sick during the day and you want them to be able to have access to the internet and just watch all day so they can rest up. You can come in here and turn off those time limits for the day. Now you do have the option to protect the application with a passcode so that they don't ever be able to come in here and mess with all of these settings. Now let's talk about adding this to a device that actually leaves the home. So we set this up on my wife's phone. Because she has an Android phone, this is how it was done. All we needed to do was go in and download the same Circle application, and then I set this up as a kid account. Now, even though I did that, I still have the ability to go in and choose adult filters for her. And I set up some time limits and some other things for her, but then it asks us to set up a VPN. Now, a VPN allows Circle to be able to filter what is on your device when it's away from home, because all my other devices like the smart TVs and anything else that's connected to my Wi-Fi network will be managed. But as soon as it leaves the home, it can't be managed from my Wi-Fi connection. So the VPN is able to do that through the Circle Home Plus application. With her filters, we did go through and make sure that we unmanaged some of the different categories for social networking, or some of the apps that she uses were under certain categories. So we just had to go through and test each application to make sure it was working. Usually it will just sit there and refresh if it isn't being able to access that server from that app. So just go through and double check all of those. Now, also I added this to mine and I found it super helpful to be able to lock certain applications to a certain time limit. So there's an app that I use daily and sometimes I'm browsing a little bit too long, but now I can set a time limit. So after 1 hour, the application stops and it will give me a notification saying, hey, you reached your time limit. And so that I know, hey, I've been on this app a little too long, it's time to move on. So I found that very useful to have around. Now I do want to mention that if the Circle Home Plus device is unplugged from the wall or from your router, it does have a backup battery as well as a Wi-Fi connection directly to your Wi-Fi router, so it can still interact with your home's network without being plugged in. But the battery life is about 6 hours, so you just need to make sure that you get it plugged back in then. After using the Circle Home Plus for a week, it has been really nice to be able to have full control of my internet at any time. So I can come in here and adjust the filters, set time limits, pause the internet. It's been really great to have that much control right from my mobile device. So that is the Circle Home Plus, how it works and how you can take control of the internet within your home. I'd really like you to go and check out this device for yourself. So make sure you check the link in the description. If you guys have any further questions, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.